Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Doesn't mean I want a pizza that. Excuse me, I'm eating my last peanut M&M. I should have finished before talking. Encarta.
That's a very specific name.
Yeah.
And today we are not brought to you by Peanut M&Ms, but if... they would like to sponsor us. It's Mike at cullenpark.com.
Yeah, please. I was so hungry, and it really hit the spot. Thank you, Peanut M&M, for allowing me to tide myself over. Tide. Also, they can sponsor us.
Tide. The cleaning detergent of the stars.
But don't eat Tide though, because I know I just made a rep for peanut M&Ms to Tide in the context of food, so hopefully don't
wash your clothes with peanut M&Ms.
Oh, I would not. No, I think that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I would not do that.
See, this is some of the great advice you get from our podcast. Yes.
Yeah, because we are in addition to a pop culture. In addition to a pop culture podcast where we pretty much talk about anything, I guess, at this point, which I like. Yes. We also are an advice podcast. We give people
again, Mike at cullenpark.com. If you would like to ask us a question, we can answer it. You might not like our answer, but we can answer it. And again, any advice you are given on this podcast, we are not held responsible for your actions.
No, we're not. And it's probably going to be terrible advice, just letting you know.
Yes.
From the get.
I mean,
it's probably not going to.
You'll write a long, lovely letter about, breaking up with your girlfriend or something. And my advice will be to not wash your clothes with peanut M&Ms.
Yes. I mean, technically it's good advice. I mean, it's unneeded advice. Technically, it's not bad advice. It's that it's irrelevant.
It'll help you move on with your life. And I mean, if you are washing your clothes with peanut M&Ms, you're probably not going to attract, quality partners, in your life. I'm just saying.
Like if we say, hey, you should probably drink water and eat food every day. It's technically good advice. It's just that it's irrelevant because everybody knows you should do that. Technically, we're not really ruining your lives by telling you this. We're just with time.
If you, if you write in and ask, I'm very worried about the fact that I think that the world is going to have a nuclear meltdown soon, and I'll just be like, news radio is a good sitcom. It is.
It is. It's a very good sitcom.
It might not help you at all, but
it's fine. It doesn't work. It's okay. Speaking of bad or irrelevant or wasting people's time.
Yeah.
Apparently Donald Trump just said he's going to run for president in 2028, even though it's illegal for him to do so. But, we live in a time of kings, if you will. This is a good segue.
Yes.
Where kings do whatever they want and they're not beholden to the people, much like the movie we're covering today.
Yes. Today, in our Direct from Hell series, we're covering a direct-to-video sequel back like the old days.
Yep.
This is A Kid in Aladdin's Palace, the sequel to A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Somehow.
Yeah. The first movie, I mean, it's got the same kid in it. That's about it.
That's it. No, literally, it's the same actor.
And
that's it. It's like
same role, but totally doesn't mention the fact that he time traveled once before in this movie. But anyways,
it doesn't make. Oh, so it is actually technically the same character.
Oh, it's the same character. It's yeah.
Oh my god! Well, that makes no sense at all because
it's the same people involved in production of it and everything, with the exception of the fact that the first film was produced by Disney at a higher budget, and Disney passed on the sequel, and so that's why it's a direct-to-video sequel. It was produced by Trimark and Tapestry Films, who also had something to do with the first one, but with the help of Disney. So. Yeah, if you want to watch the first one, it's on. If you want to watch A Kid in King Arthur's Court, it's on Disney Plus. This one, however, you can watch on YouTube or Tubi or a couple other places. So yeah, yep.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people mistakenly think this is a Disney movie, but it's not. So
yep.
Yeah, so this movie came out in 1997, 2 years after the first one. It was here's the log line from the Internet Movie Database. A teenager goes back in time to help the legendary Ali Baba save Aladdin and his kingdom from an evil villain.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Sure.
Yeah, this was directed by Robert L. Levy. He's like an executive producer on a lot of movies. I think this is his only directing credit. I mean, he was a producer on the first one of this, but he was also a producer on the original Point Break, Smokey and the Bandit, a bunch of the Adventures of Mary Kate and Ashley videos.
There you go. It's gold right there. I mean,
he was a producer on She's All That.
Not bad.
Some The Wedding Planner with J-Lo and Matthew McConaughey. Serendipity with John Cusack, Van Wilder, Wedding Crashers.
That's some decent.
Yeah, he's
got some decent things.
Decent things.
Yeah,
These are what he's but his only directing credit is this movie.
All right.
The writers of this movie were Michael Part, who also wrote the first movie, along with this was the last thing he wrote, was this movie.
Okay,
but he wrote the two A Kid in blah 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 movies. And and then he wrote like K9000 and episodes of Jake and the Fat Man and Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. He produced this movie as well. We also have Robert Levy, the director of the movie, as one of the co-writers. That's the writing and directing credits here. We've got starring in this movie Thomas Ian Nicholas, who starred in the first movie as he's returning as Kelvin Fuller. We got Rhona Mitra in her first movie as Scheherazade. Nicholas Irons, no relation to Jeremy Irons, as Ali Baba. James Faulkner as Luxor. I was just wondering if he was related to him, so I looked it up, and he's not. So, yeah, James Faulkner as our villain Luxor. We've got Taylor Negron, who we saw recently in an episode of our show in Nothing But Trouble, as the Genie. We've got Aharon Ipalé as Aladdin, Diane Kent as Jasmine, his wife, which I'm trying to figure this out because I don't think the name Jasmine was ever Aladdin's like love interest until the Disney movie. So if they're calling her Jasmine in this, I think they might get sued, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't think they ever say her name. So we've got Roger Enos as Couscous, David Kirsch as Bob, Gordon Winter as Hummus.
Yeah, you gotta have your Arabic food stereotypes as people's names for some reason.
Michelle Merkin as Valerie, John Tollesbay as Charlie, Gary Epp as Mr. Knockbest, and Jonathan C. Kaplan as Elliot. So that's pretty much your cast here.
Yep.
Yeah, so this movie. What are your initial thoughts here, Sesame?
So I loved it when I first watched the first 30 minutes. And if I'm being completely honest, it was because I was like kind of sleepy and delirious. And so that kind of makes it a little bit high and the standards get lowered a little bit. And so I thought it was awesome for the first 30 minutes for some reason. And then I took a break. I took a break after about 29 minutes and then about 6 hours later, I watched the rest of the movie, and it was like minute by minute, my enjoyment just was like almost like speaking of like old stuff, like where you like the salts, you know, where the hourglass just like it was almost like my enjoyment was just going
dwindling
down into the movie, and I was just like, oh, I was actually really enjoying this movie for the first half hour for some reason, and then now I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
I mean,
but it was a very interesting multicultural thing because they have a bunch of white people saying "By Allah." I was like, oh yes, we got white Muslims in this movie. Sweet. Now we're really like showing the fact that like Islam is such a universal religion. It's like, no, it's just because they didn't want to hire anyone except for white actors.
There's a couple like I think one of the actors is from Morocco and stuff like that, but most of the people are white.
Okay. Yeah, most of them are like Jasmine. I mean, not Jasmine. The princess. I forgot her name.
Yeah, like the guy that plays Aladdin is from Morocco.
Okay, well that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has like almost no role in the movie though,
exactly.
But like, he has like 5 lines.
But like everybody else seems to be like British. So it's like...
Yeah, either British or it's white. I still can't get over the fact though that this is actually considered to be a sequel to A Night in King Arthur's Court. So like we've done sequels before, that we call sequels in name only. I mean, I don't think we came up with the phrase, but this is not a sequel in name only because it actually features the same character and the same actor, but it's also ipso facto a sequel in name only because it has nothing to do with the previous movie, and there's not only is there no mention of A Night in King Arthur's Court, the character gives off the impression that he has never time traveled before. Like his memory of A Night in King Arthur's Court is gone. So it's like a Spider-Man No Way Home type situation, but it's like a spell against himself.
His memory of a kid in King Arthur's Court is like it didn't happen or something, but it's really weird. Like I do not know if I've ever seen a kid in King Arthur's Court.
I saw it once. And I hated it. I thought it was because like this is coming right up the tails of Rookie of the Year, right? And that was a movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid. Like I saw an interview all the time.
Saw an interview recently with Thomas Ian Nicholas, and he was talking about a kid in King Arthur's Court, and he was saying that if you look at the poster, I'm wearing a baseball uniform and stuff. It was like they were just trying to capitalize on the Rookie of the Year stuff.
No, totally. I remember seeing the cover at that time and making that connection. I was like 12. I was like, wait, what the fuck are they doing here? Like,
it's like, is it the same character from that movie going back in time?
I mean, obviously that's what they were trying to imply with that, to a bunch of little kids who wouldn't know better. But then in this movie, they even have a scene where he uses a stick like a baseball bat and hits. I'm like, okay, come on. Like, how long are we gonna ride the Rookie of the Year, fame here? I mean, it's not his fault. He's not. I mean, he came up with the idea.
I kind of want to go back and watch a Kid in King Arthur's Court because a young Kate Winslet and a young Daniel Craig are in that movie. So
okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, but this time we got Rhona Mitra, who went on to do some decent things for a little while. But yeah, she's not really that popular anymore, but she was for a little while in film. So yeah.
Yeah. So we should write our own for like, every movie has to have a trilogy these days, right? You can't just have one or two. So what we should do, we should write a third movie called, I quote, kid, because he's not a kid anymore. He's like in his 50s at this point.
We just call
maybe not. But like
he's 44 right now. Thomas is.
Okay.
So
a quote kid in scare quotes, sarcastic quotes in Mar-a-Lago, and it's all about him like trying to subvert the Trump administration.
Well, no, then he wouldn't be time traveling. We got to have him do something else, like maybe.
Oh, well, no, he's not time traveling. Okay, no, he's time traveling into the future because Trump's going to be a dictator at that point. So it'd be like 2029, something like that.
That.
And then,
all right, well, I was thinking something more serious, like a kid in the Third Reich, and he goes back to he goes back in time and he has to try to kill Hitler.
He kills Hitler by throwing really huge fastballs at him or something. Sorry, I was trying to make light of this, but like
I know. No.
Oh god.
Yeah. Or it should just be like a kid in my backyard, and it's just like he just appears in somebody's backyard, and it's just like nothing happens.
That's it. That's the whole movie. He just like hangs out, and then he's like, "Okay, better go back to my time period. All right, see ya." That's the whole movie.
He just randomly travels back in time to like 1977 and is hanging out in somebody's backyard or something. Like,
it's a short film. It's a YouTube short.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally hated this movie.
Oh god,
it's not the worst movie we've covered for this show by any means. It's actually somewhat watchable, and I mean it's something that I would put on for like a kid to watch or something just to keep them entertained. It wouldn't be that bad. But
yeah, would
I ever watch it again? No.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, if you want to pay me to watch it again, folks, again, my email is mike@cullenpark.com. I have a Venmo and a PayPal I can send you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Like a live, I guess you can't really cut a live react since we already saw it, but I guess
we'll if that's a good thing though too. We do have a Patreon, and one of the things within the Patreon is you can pick a movie for us to watch. So I would recommend joining that. There's a link in our show notes to that. It's also at alltooreal2.com. Good way to help support the show. Also, if you are afraid of walking around naked, we have merch. You can buy a shirt at our TeePublic, So, yeah, because, a lot of places, when you go in, it says no shirt, no shoes, no service. So we can get you the shirts at least. I don't think we have shoes. But
no, not yet. We don't have like Trump kicks yet.
We can get you the shirts and the service, but no shoes.
Yeah.
So But one day we'll have like gold sneakers that say "All Too Real 2" on them.
The Cullen kicks will be here eventually.
Cullen kicks.
Yeah, the Cullen kicks. Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. There's the business idea right there.
My
Cullen.
For some odd reason, that reminded me. There was this kid I knew, Josh, back in college, who he wrote a musical about me called "Hear Me a Cullen." I don't know why that just popped in my head. He actually literally wrote it was like a 20-page musical about me, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude?
There he is.
Awesome. So, anyways, what happens in this movie?
Oh right, I forgot that we were even talking about. Apparently he's got amnesia from his time in the King Arthur's Court, which I guess is understandable because we don't really talk about the effects of time travel on like the human mind and body too much in these time travel movies. So maybe this was like one of the first instances of them trying to like show like, hey, this might actually like affect you in like a lot of ways. Maybe we'll delve. So this was the first time they
if they actually did address it at all, but they don't. So
no, it was the first movie they tried to address this, but it was the wrong movie to do so. They just didn't.
I'm really curious now how the other one ends and stuff, and maybe we'll cover the other one for the future episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it backwards and cover it second. Maybe we'll do it next week or something, but we don't know yet because we never know what we're going to cover until we cover it.
Exactly. So. Because we don't have the benefit of a time machine here, so
we never know what we're going to cover until the pop culture gods tell us what to cover. It's a little known fact of the behind the scenes of how this show works. Every week, a pop culture god comes down from the heavens and just like sits on top of my chest while I'm laying in bed and whispers in my ear what movie we're going to cover, and that's how we pick it every week.
And you just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, we have 400 gods that are harassing us. It's not what's experience. But so anyway, he works at a pizza restaurant. We start off with a 2-minute scene of just riding horses. So we're really padding the movie here with like irrelevant scenes, and then Aladdin, he's a grown man at this point. He's the new sultan. He's trying to make sure that his evil brother
what's that?
Doesn't. I said it's like his evil brother Luxor. He's trying to prevent. I think it's Luxor.
Yeah, it's Luxor.
Which is interesting because in the other Aladdin movie he has no brother, so I guess that was a way of maybe them trying to
differentiate
bypass any kind of And so,
and it's also interesting
he tells
that the big pyramid in Las Vegas is called the Luxor MGM Resorts.
Okay.
So
there we
that
go.
has nothing to do with anything. It's just something I know off the top of my head. So.
Yeah, probably not, but it's just hilarious. So he tells the Genie, by the way, has like the best special effects in any movie. Period. It was dazzling.
I thought he was real. I mean, I thought it was a real genie.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, we got this sassy, genie dude. Which is weird because I didn't know. And I guess another point of making a difference was that the genie has the ability for time travel, because that was not said in the original Disney Aladdin. So apparently this guy, he can't.
Right,
So
there's been several other versions of Aladdin over the years before that one, and we've covered several of them on this podcast. But
yes, we have actually several, in fact. Yeah, and this is probably our third or fourth Aladdin.
Yeah,
movie
we covered several when the live action Aladdin movie came out. Right before that, we covered several Aladdin movies. So if you're interested in that, go back and look at our back catalog, and there are at least 3 or 4 episodes where we covered different Aladdin movies.
That's kind of the best thing to think about how many we've done. What do you mean? Because we have hundreds of episodes. But anyway, so he's like, you know what to do if I don't make it out. And so he crumbles the entire cave with thousands of rocks that would be impossible to pick up with their kind of technology at the time. And then Luxor shows up and he does this weird poison spell where green air goes into Aladdin's nose and makes him into a Sleeping Beauty type situation where he's not dead technically, but he kind of just isn't stayed, or lies in state rather.
Allegedly, that's the same thing that Bill Cosby used when he would date women.
Oh my god! Oh no! Wow! Oh no!
It's what they call Spanish fly. Anyway, so
oh my god, yeah. I mean, Luxor does have some Cosby-esque tendencies in this movie. I will say that much. So I guess it's not that far flung. But and so he's like, you know what to do if this goes wrong or whatever. And so then the genie's like, oh shit, he just sort of killed Aladdin, kind of. And then he goes into the future, and now, he's like, find the deliverer. That was the name of the person who's supposed to save them.
Yes.
And so then he goes into the future of 1997, and oh no, it's the kid from King Arthur's court who doesn't remember that he was there, and now he's somehow the same person, but he works in the pizza restaurant and doesn't have any of the confidence that he accrued from the first movie. I guess it just depleted, and so now he's just back to being not confident somehow again. I mean, to me,
I'm assuming he gained confidence in the first movie, but I don't know because I never saw it. So,
well, I would assume so. I mean, think about it. You're 16, 17 years old, or 15 or whatever, and then you get shifted into King Arthur's court where you have to fight bad guys. I would assume that once you came out of that, you would have a newfound of self-confidence because of what you were able to accomplish by facing your fears, showing courage, etc. But no, apparently not. Now he just works at a pizza restaurant, all mousy about shit. Because again, I'm thinking there's an amnesia thing that went on that they should have talked about, but maybe it's in the director's cut that we don't know about, where they explain that, oh no, Kelvin, he doesn't remember anything anymore. So now he's too nervous to talk to some girl who's obviously just not worth it, just completely just self-centered. But no, she's quote hot, so he has to try to tell her that, oh, that car up there is actually mine. It's the Corvette, and she perks up oh, that's your car, cool. We can go out on a date tonight. Because that's the other thing too. 90s movies I always thought were so weird. Did girls really care that much about being seen in a cool car? It just seems like a movie thing to me. I mean, I don't know. When I was in the 90s.
When I was dating classmates in the 90s when I was in high school, I didn't have a car and I still had girlfriends, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I could see someone being embarrassed if it was a really shitty car where it was black they're coming out of the exhaust pipe. But even then, it's still kind of a little self-centered, but I can at least understand the unwanted attention that you would get from driving and or being seen in that type of car. But like, I just don't. Again, I was like 15 in the 90s. So I mean, the 90s.
I'm sure at any time in the world there are always people that are, selfish and greedy and stuff, and they want good things in life, and eventually, start running our government. But right. But sometimes there are people that are like, if you could attract a girl if you were rich, or you can buy her nice things or whatever. I mean, that's always still something that goes on. Same thing with a guy too. I'm sure like a rich girl could impress the popular guy too. So yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's possible, but I just noticed that was always a trope in the 80s and 90s. It was like, oh, you got a cool car? Well, now I'm interested in you, even though I'm totally not. And it's like, okay,
it's
whatever.
like,
so
it's like, I don't know. In a different way, though, there is also like the movie Can't Buy Me Love, where he basically pays for the girl. So it's like,
that was a weird movie. Exactly, that's a very interesting movie. Yeah,
yeah.
And then of course they made the remake. Love Don't Cost a Thing? I think with the remake, like
with Nick Cannon.
Anyway, I'm like totally veering off here, but. So he wants to borrow the car from the real owner, and it's like some jerk.
And I mean,
coworker of his.
Nick Cannon has money, so I'm sure that's why he's able to have so many different women and kids.
I mean, it's possible, yeah.
I think he has about almost as many kids as Elon Musk. So,
yeah, but at least he spends time with them and takes care of them.
Yeah,
like Elon
he actually cares about his kids.
Like with Nick Cannon, it's not just about spreading his seed. He actually the father needs children and actually time with them. So there's a pretty big difference between the two. But even then, even so though, I still don't really get the whole idea of like trying to have as many kids as possible. Like I don't know. To me, it just is like a con type of thing where it's you want the world.
I do fully know that if I had to hang out with one of the two guys, I would hang out with Nick Cannon in a minute over.
No, I mean, there's not even a question. No, like I mean, it's like there's like literally.
I'd rather have Nick Cannon running our government than.
No, I mean, again, it's not even a question. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, because he's responsible. Yeah. He does the things, but then he takes responsibility for those actions. So that's what like an adult does. Like,
he hosts like a million shows. So yeah.
Right, exactly. So this jerk coworker, he's like, no, I'll just take her to the date because it's my car, and he roughs him up and stuff. And then just like the other movie with the Italian American movie of Super Friend, what was
Super Fantangino or something?
The Italian / American film company made a lot of movies with the same actors, primarily filmed in Miami for some reason. I guess maybe that's where they live.
Bud Spencer.
Bud Spencer. He was an Italian actor. He played the genie.
Yeah.
That we also that was one of our old, like from like 6 months into our podcast.
I highly recommend checking out that episode. That's one of my favorite movies we've ever watched for some reason. It
was so horrible, but it was such a good movie at the same time. And so much like, actually, no, in that movie, at least it made a little bit more sense to what happens in this movie. Because in that movie, Al Haddon is his name. Get it? Al Haddon. He works for this dude who basically just like collects junk.
Yeah.
And he sells it as like, novelty items, stuff like that.
And I mean, besides that too, that one made more sense because it took place in modern times. It didn't time travel.
Exactly. Yeah, there was no time traveling. And so that guy, his name was like Harry Getz or something's business. I forgot his name. But like, and so, sorry. And then, and so the genie bottle happened to be one of the things that he got from the ocean when he was collecting the bunch of junk.
Yeah.
He was told to clean the items. He was rubbing the lamp because he was cleaning it, and then that's when Bud Spencer
whereas
came
this
out,
one is just some random thing at the pizza parlor.
Like again, so it's just like, why would that be at? You know what I mean? Like there's no reason why a genie lamp would just randomly be in a pizza parlor for no
nobody
reason.
else. Nobody rubbed it before then.
That's not saying nobody rubbed it, like because everybody knows what a genie lamp looks like. So. I mean, like nobody would be at least curious enough, just like as a joke, to rub it, just to like see if it would work. Like even if they knew it wouldn't. Like, come on. Like, and so he rubs it, and somehow the genie. But so now I was gonna say though, since time travel is such a huge part of this movie, maybe the lamp is there due to the time paradox, since he went back in time, got the lamp, and then brought the lamp into our future time, that this was always going to happen because it's a time loop. Can't get out of it. So, again, they had ample opportunities.
The other thing, too, is the genie's talking to him here and then tells him to find him in the past inside the cave. And he sends him to the past through the lamp. And I'm trying to understand the logic here. So, but then, when he finds the genie in the past, again, the genie knows who he is, because he's already met him. So, my whole thing is why couldn't he just have, the genie couldn't have taken both of them back in time to the right place to then, wake up Aladdin? Also, it just makes no sense to me at all. I know they needed somebody else to rub the lamp to make wishes and stuff, but it's just, why did Aladdin lock the lamp inside the Cave of Wonders to begin with? And,
yeah, exactly. I think, I don't know if they thought
just give the lamp to his daughter or somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, because she can make all three wishes, and she can make the third wish to free him, like in Aladdin, but probably can't do that because it's copyright.
Or to banish,
but anyway, so it's like
her uncle, but
right, or something like ban her uncle from being able to use the light. That would be a wish right there that you could do. I mean, or any of his minions or whatever, And and so again, I didn't know a genie has power to actually do things. I know in the other movies he can grant wishes, but he can't actually do the thing himself, right?
Actually, in the Disney lore, he can. Even after he was freed, he still had ability to create things and do things.
You're right. Okay,
in the sequels and in the animated series,
right? Okay, yeah. That's I remember now. That makes sense. And so he grabs him through this again. The superb CGI is just absolutely stunning, dazzling. And hold on, you're going to hear my fan for a second. Sorry. There we go. I'm turning that off. He gets sucked in. He's now in Aladdin's time. He meets Alibaba at some point. He's about to get beheaded for stealing something from Luxor. But then he gets saved, I guess. I forgot how, but he gets saved, and then they take both of them prisoner, I guess. They get taken. Okay, so there's a lot, really, really, really problematic scene in this movie. I mean, there's several, but this one really crossed the line. I would think that even they would have known, maybe let's not write this into the movie, but they're like, I'm going to do it anyway, because why the fuck not? It's my movie. And so they run away. They disguise themselves as women in the I guess the harem of the princess. I mean, not a harem. I guess I don't know what you would call it, but
her handmaids or something. Yeah.
Her quarters or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so they're pretending to be women. They got their veils on, etc. And she's the guys come in to investigate, and she's like, oh well, take a look around. All I see are women here. And then the guy looks at Calvin. He's like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, go ahead. You can use my private quarters. Basically saying, go fuck this child. It's just like, dude, why did you write that?
It's like, go ahead and rape this random person. What the fuck?
But a kid. I mean, it's just I'm like, why would you do? So it's like, sometimes I feel like the QAnon people, they may have seen these things when they were kids and it traumatized them, which then led them as the first stepping stone, if you will, into their crazy conspiracy theories, because they remember wait, I do remember a Disney, it wasn't a Disney movie, but I remember a movie that was like a Disney movie where the guy was literally just about to rape this kid, so it's I see the left wing is doing this or whatever, I mean, yes. I'm not making light of that stuff, obviously, no. But I'm making light of the fact that the people who wrote these movies they never took a second look of maybe we shouldn't have that scene in the movie, nobody reviewed it. There's no copy review, nothing, not one person.
My thing with it is you've got Alibaba and Kelvin right there. Why did the guy have to go after Kelvin and not Alibaba? At least Alibaba was an adult.
Exactly. And so there's so many questions that come from there right there. That's we have a character here who is very dark, secret, obviously, And we just play it off for laughs. It's got one scene, but Calvin does hit him in the head with a vase, knocks him out. So I guess that's good. There was no, molestation going on in this movie, which is a plus, I guess. I mean, because everything else is terrible. At least that one thing did not happen in this kids movie. And that's the other thing too. This movie was for kids. Like, it wasn't like this is what like it was geared towards. So that's makes it even more sick if you think about it. Because
at least it's rated PG. So at least it wasn't G. It's PG. So at least insane parental guidance. So
that's its quote saving grace, if you will. Yeah, if you can call it that. And so they went away. The princess, he immediately's got a thing for the princess, because she's pretty. Obviously the princess has to be pretty. That's the rules. The mom, though, not trying to be cruel. Mom, though, is like stunning. Like, I mean, that was like. I mean, whoever played her mom was like, man, like that's I'm not trying to be like like reduce people to their looks or whatever.
No, I mean, I think
the queen.
They both were rather.
The queen.
Yeah. The queen was played by Diana Kent, who is a well-known British actress, I believe. She's still acting. So yeah,
well, that's cool. I mean, at least she. Survived this movie. And I'm trying to remember what happens now, because I know they escaped. I know Alibaba.
So basically they start to escape and they want to they need to get to the Cave of Wonders. But first they need to get the key to get into the place that Aladdin sent off into random places or something. And so Alibaba, says he'll help them, and so they Sherry, as he calls them, Scheherazade. That's what Calvin decides to call her. She helps them.
White racism. Oh, your name is too hard to pronounce. I'm just gonna call you Sherry. Sorry, go ahead.
Or it's cute. He's creating a nickname for her. We can go either way with that. Yeah. I'm just joking.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They get camels, and of course, one of the camels is farting a lot.
Yep.
It's one of those movies.
It is one of those movies where farts are funny for kids. I never thought farts were funny when I was a kid. I mean, maybe a lot of kids do, but I always thought it was stupid and disgusting. But
only time I've ever found them funny is when they happen at the worst possible time, like in the middle of church or something. But it's like.
Right.
But like I never found him funny in movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
But so this they take off on these camels and go across the desert. We meet up at one point into the Valley of Death or something. We meet up with Alibaba's brothers that are all named after food for some stupid reason.
Even Bob, he's like, oh, at least one of them's not made by food. He's like, that's short for kebab. I'm like, fuck you, Alibaba, you piece of shit. Like, you can't even name brothers. Like,
speaking of all of this, why is everybody speaking English?
Exactly. I was going to make that point. I mean, I wasn't going to make it, but I thought about that last night, because at one point Alibaba's like, hey, you should tell her how you feel because you've known her for 6 hours and you're in love with her for some reason. And these movies are always like that. You know someone for like 15 minutes, and it's like immediately that's your soulmate. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay. And I get it. Yes, she's pretty. She's the princess. Blah, blah, blah. She's captivating. You're a kid. You're like 15, 16-year-old kid. I get it. Hormones, blah, blah, blah. But like, you've only known this person for like 3 hours. Like, how can you know that person's like the love of your life? And then he goes, well, we don't even speak the same language. I'm like, yes, you do. You're literally speaking the same language.
And having full conversations in this movie.
Like, unless, like, the genie made it so they could all understand each other, maybe that was not, they didn't say that. I don't know, but, like,
So there's no explanation as to how that happens or anything.
No.
It's just so weird. Nope. I don't know. That always bothered me in these, like, period piece movies and stuff. I mean, I understand it if everybody's speaking English and the movie takes place in, Roman times or something. Oh, well, I mean, we can suspend, our belief and everything for this, their disbelief or whatever for the fact that, they're making it for an American audience or whatever. But when you literally have somebody from present day go back in time to whenever this was,
And Arabia is someplace in the Arab world. I don't know what country, but somewhere.
I mean, the thing is about the whole 1001 Nights book and everything. It never really says where it takes place. So I mean, like Aladdin, they created in the movie Aladdin, they created Agrabah and stuff like that, which isn't a real place.
It could be anywhere in that part of the world because Aladdin, I know his Arabic name is Aladdin.
Yeah.
And I could say it correctly. I'm such a smart
and whatever. No. And Scheherazade is a character in the 1001 Nights. So is Alibaba. So
right.
Yeah.
So it could be India. I know because there's a lot of Muslim empires in India, that part of the world, but it's definitely not in Europe. That's exactly. Like it's a completely different thing. But they're just having full blown conversations with each other. Like no one's getting lost in translation. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like Scheherazade is a major character in the storyteller frame narrative of the Middle Eastern collection of tales known as 1001 Nights. So basically that's where that name came from. Like supposedly she's the one telling all the stories. So
okay, that's like the narrator. Okay, yeah. I want to actually read that now. I've never actually read. Like as I was watching this, I was like, man, it's like there's so much cool shit. Like Alibaba. I was like, I'm gonna look up Alibaba now because like I've never really.
I read like some children's books based on those things when I was a kid, but I never actually read the real adult version or whatever. So yeah,
it'd be a good thing to read. I think it's going to be my next. I'm finishing the Shannara book, the Sword of Shannara, and then I'm going to move on to Wicked, or the first Wicked book. I got that for Christmas.
I heard it's. Yeah, I heard compared to the musical, it's very, very dark and kind of a lot of people don't like it. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I still haven't seen that. I just not like I need to be like in the right mood to watch Wicked. Like I want to watch it, but it's hard to explain. Like I want to watch it, but I want to watch it when I really, really want to watch it.
It's so good. It's so good.
I don't know how to even explain it, but I know it's supposed to be really, really good.
It's really good. Yeah. But yeah, that's off topic. Anyway, so we're back on the topic here. We got. So where were we in this whatever you want to call it story?
We were talking about
about how they do the English. Yeah, they're all speaking English.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're going through there and everything, and we meet the brothers that all have food name, and that'd be like if I had like 3 brothers and I named them like peanut butter and jelly sandwich and pizza and hamburger. It's like what the.
It would be so stupid, but that's what they were trying to convey because the brothers be kind of dumb.
This is my cousin, fried chicken. Like what the, it's just like
it's. I know this is exactly. I don't know. Yeah. Like it was. They were trying to be fun for the kids, I guess. But even so, that's a weird thing too because like I don't really think it. Especially in the 90s, it could be wrong, but like I don't think most kids would even know like what hummus or couscous would. I mean, unless like they came from those cultures, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they might know what a shish kebab is, but that's about it. So
because that's a little bit more universal at that point. Yeah. I mean, I knew what shish kebab was, during that time, but not hummus. I never heard of couscous or hummus or anything like that.
I mean, I had maybe, but not really much. But anyways, so they're going off and they link up with the brothers and everything's cool. They're riding on their camels, like you do. They start seeing mirages where Kelvin sees like a Burger King in the middle of the desert, and
God.
Then there's like a like hurricane or something that comes by, and
like a sand hurricane, or like I don't know,
like a cyclone or whatever. I don't know what they would call them, but
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Either. But so we know Burger King sponsored this movie apparently because
Well, so did Reebok, because all of the clothing and backpack Kelvin had were like Reebok, like his shoes were Reeboks. The backpack was a Reebok backpack.
This is why I think we have to just like forget about the odds and just decide we're just gonna like ask like all kinds of sponsors to sponsor like our movies or ideas because Reebok and Burger King saw this movie and we're like, I want to give money to this movie.
I mean, in all fairness, it was a sequel to a Disney movie, and so they probably got duped into it. So,
right, true. Yeah, most of these people who work like these high position jobs, they're not really actually that smart. So they probably just go ahead, give them $1 million. $2 million.
My kid liked that first movie with that Nicholas guy. You know, he was a good actor. You know, that kid.
Right. And he just sitting there playing with this like Rubik's Cube stress ball, like not even paying attention. Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, go ahead, give him."
Let me go. Go ahead, do that. You know, let me go cheat on my wife now and play some golf and whatever.
Exactly. I got my eyes on Aladdin's wife. Terrible. Oh God.
No. There we go. So they all get like covered in sand and, you know, and blah, blah, blah. There's like some romantic scenes here and there between Scheherazade and Kelvin. And, this movie was horrible. Yep.
It's weird. Plus, too, it's like they're trying to they do it very badly, but they're trying to convey the idea that like he's like super smart because he's from the future. Like he knows how to build all these gadgets with like his other thing too. He's got this laptop that functions like a laptop in 2025 would, but it's from 1997. Like I'm pretty sure the technology wasn't that good.
And he's got like he's got a Polaroid camera that he has around with him, and you know, one point he takes a picture of Scheherazade, and you know, it's like cool, whatever, you know, and shows her the picture. It was smart of them to make it a Polaroid because otherwise he'd have to wait for him to be developed and film.
Right, that's another sponsor, Kodak, right there.
Polaroid, yeah,
that's the name of the company. So I thought that was just the name of the product. I didn't know that was the name. Okay.
Polaroid was the name of the company. Kodak was another camera company. Kodak was the creator of the digital camera, but then thought it wasn't going to work, and then other companies slapped them, and
idiots.
And then they went bankrupt. So
he takes a picture
only.
So he takes a picture of Scheherazade without her consent, and then shows it to her. And then she goes, "It's a moment capturer." I'm like, see, there you go. That's the reaction that someone would have if they were presented with new technology for the first time.
Yeah.
Like the other people are just like acting like this is just some normal thing. I'm like, dude, this guy just built like a hang glider, and you're like acting like it was like that's interesting.
Yeah, that was. It's like they were able to get the key and stuff because Calvin built a hang glider out of the stuff they had. So yeah,
so he's really smart. He can build shit. Apparently,
most 16 kids can build a hang glider.
That's what I'm saying. Like they made this kid into like a genius, but like it's always played off like it's not a big deal. Like, yeah, you know, his laptop. I'm like, okay, I don't care if your laptop showed you how to do anything. Just doesn't mean that you can do it just by looking at what the laptop says. Like,
I'm just amazed by the battery power in the laptop and the Polaroid. You know, they kind of.
There's no way that I mean, maybe he was charged up before you know they left and stuff, and he had it turned off for most of the time to preserve battery. I don't know, but they never explained that either, which is another point for that movie. But they end up losing them in a dust storm, but they see their hands are waving in the air because they've been buried in sand. It's funny, isn't it, Mike? Isn't it funny when someone is suffocating under sand and they can't move their bodies except for their arms and legs, and so they're likely having like a full-blown panic attack because their body is absolutely stuck and paralyzed? Isn't that funny? And that like they don't know that someone's coming to rescue them because they can't see or hear anything. So they're just flailing their hands. Isn't that funny? Isn't that cute? Isn't that awesome, Mike?
I tell you what, I'm going to get a passport. You can get one too. And
okay.
The people of the show can pay us a bunch of money and we'll go to the desert and get buried in sand.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that so cool? We can almost die. Drown.
Will somebody film it and see if it's funny?
Yeah. And then
or you can
upload the TikTok.
Or you can just
or whatever.
Send me to the Middle East and we'll just hang out there somewhere. No, wait, there's probably not a good place to hang out there right now anywhere.
Might actually not be. It depends on the country. What's better? I mean, it might be not a good idea to get out of here. But you know, like I don't know. You can move to like the United Arab Emirates, Jordan. Well, not Jordan because Israel is probably going to bomb and kill all of Jordan. But anyway, like you know, maybe not those countries nearby that one over there. But because you know, you don't know if you're going to be safe from the people who believe in the concept of blood and soil. Anyway, But
so back to the sand and anxiety of this movie. They get going. They're moving, going forward, and everything. Scheherazade keeps telling Kelvin not to trust Alibaba because she doesn't trust him. Eventually, they get to the Cave of Wonders. They open up the door with the key that they got from the middle of somebody's chest or something, like a dead skeleton.
It was like, and then like that's why they had to fight, like, I guess the 4 horsemen. I guess maybe that's what they were trying to convey. I don't know. And then
I got really bored during this part of the movie. So
yeah, me too. It was, which is weird because this part of the movie has the most action in it, but it's just not entertaining action.
Yeah.
Like it's so campy. Which again, I get it. It's meant for kids, but like even though it's meant for kids, it shouldn't be like that campy, Like, and I mean, you might as well just like the scimitars that these people were carrying look so fake and cartoonish. Yeah. Like, I don't even think a real scimitar even looks the way that they make it look in these movies. I think a real scimitar is thinner than what they make in these movies, but
yeah.
Anyway,
so we've got they get to the Cave of Wonders. They end up finding the lamp. Alibaba kind of double crosses them, and there's a like wooden bridge that they cross over to the lamp, and he cuts the rope on the bridge so they can't, get back out, and he's going to steal all the treasure and everything. Then he has a change of heart, and he's going back to save them. Kelvin comes up with an idea, and he does like a Luke Skywalker thing across this thing of lava, pit of lava. He takes his backpack and some fishing line, which I swear that would probably snap, but that's just me.
Oh, I'm sure. He's like, it's up to 300 pounds. How do you know that? It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
And so two of them swing across like basically like Leia and Luke in Star Wars. So that's what it reminded me.
I know. It was supposed to be.
And so they get across to the other side, and then when they get across, Luxor shows up, and it's like dun dun dun, and then they think that Alibaba basically led him there or something, but no, he didn't. He was about to come back and save them. Blah blah blah. What happens then?
Well, it's so weird because why? It's like he's doing a favor to Alibaba. He's like, no, he was actually trying to save you. He's actually a good guy. Like, why would you even do that? Like, why would you even say that? Like,
why would you tell him?
Like, did you want him to hate Alibaba because then that would cause more friction within the group, which then means they won't work together. So you're like, I'll throw you a bone. Yeah, he was actually trying to save you kids. Like, that's okay.
So then they get locked inside there, the brothers and Alibaba and Kelvin, but Luxor takes the princess and leaves
for some reason.
Yeah,
like he couldn't just kill them all. Like for some reason, like he had a lock. Cave, or I guess I don't know.
And he steals the lamp, of course.
Of course, he's got
So then he wakes up the genie. He gets like 3 wishes. The first 2 that he wishes right away, that he wants to be the most powerful person in the world and have all be the richest person in the world. So the palace is full of riches now, and he's got all the leaders of the world like coming to visit him and bow to him or whatever. And he's planning to execute the princess
for treason, I guess. Or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. And then who knows what these people they're going to behead. We're going to behead. And they even had like a scene. I'm like, okay, so now we went from like a kids movie to like we're going to do a beheading. Like, yeah, okay.
Well, at least didn't go
and like the whole
didn't go into like Braveheart territory or something, but still, it was like
that was, and like the whole, of course, the whole town. Which is weird. I never understood that. Like, is that something that would really happen? Like were the people like required to see executions, or they just like come just to watch it? Like I never understood if it was something like they had to show up to.
I don't know. I'm not sure if this was something like like it was like, oh, there's nothing else to do. I mean, there wasn't TV or or like
right. No, exactly. Yeah, I know.
So it might be like, oh, hey, cool, we get to see somebody get killed. That's fun.
It's not awesome. Let's not like traumatize us in any way at all. That's such a weird. Anyway, yeah.
It's like everybody.
I get being bored.
Like including kids. It's just like, yeah.
That's the other thing too. It's like I get being bored, but then again, I guess I haven't been bored in like the medieval way, so like there's no way to like really connect with that level of boredom. But still, I'm thinking
it's like, hey, honey, let's get the kids together. We're gonna go watch this girl get her head chopped off.
Right? It's just, I don't know, man. It seems
it's just like, oh, hey, we're gonna get the whole family together to go see Sesame Street on Ice or something. But it's like, oh, we're gonna go to get the kids together to watch somebody get their head chopped off.
It's like not the princess, no less, too. Like, just like no trial. I mean, I guess no trial makes sense. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, so I guess technically, extrajudicial executions, make sense for this Luxor guy.
Yeah.
But no, they break out because of like a mudslide somehow just magically gets in the water, and now they're free for some reason. Okay.
Well, they found the way out, so they got out, and then they're all heading there to save the princess, and they knock over the stage where they're about to chop off her head. They have the camel to tie it to the stage and knock over the legs of it, or whatever.
The one that always farts. What's his name? That's Calvin's camel.
Yeah, I don't even remember the friggin' things.
Or something like that. Or that camel really loves Calvin. Calvin's Camel. There's a good that's like a new like cigarette company. Calvin's Camel. It's like a knockoff.
Yeah.
Of the camel brand called Calvin's Camels, and
I'm pretty sure you get sued for copyright infringement there. But yeah,
probably. And then it shows Calvin smoking like a kid smoking at like the mascot. He's like, this is good for you guys, like coughing.
the next movie, it's like a kid at Marlboro, and he just goes there.
He's so fucking stupid.
Oh god.
But this camel loves Calvin. He's always following him around. Like it's actually really sweet if you think about it. Like the animal just really
loves him,
connects, like really loves him, like follows him around everywhere. Like he followed them actually to the place where they got the key, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
And he runs off. She was just like centimeters from getting her head chopped off. It was a really, really close call. Yeah. Which again, for like a kids movie, I don't know about that for a kids movie. I mean, then again, we almost had attempted molestation. So I guess, what line not willing to cross.
In any Disney movie, you've got like most of them, the moms get killed in them. So it's like, got like Bambi and whatnot.
Or something like that.
Yeah, so.
No, they're like, let's kill the young one. Let's kill the princess. Make it even worse. Like, let's just like take out the person with like in the prime of their life. Like that's, man, let's really go for the jugular there.
Princess. So they save the day. But then they've got like they're running away, and eventually she reveals that she has a magic carpet
that they never discussed ever.
Yeah.
Before.
And so
like that would have been useful.
And it turned out that he wasted his last wish on some. He wished for didn't he wish for somebody to be dead or something for Calvin to
Luxor. Yeah. So technically he wished for it, but it doesn't really. He can't do it. So technically,
he wasted.
He wasted that wish.
Yeah. So now
there was a nice little loophole that the genie found. Yeah.
So he no longer has any wishes, but he's got like a. How did he had a horse that can fly?
Yeah, that was the other thing too. They just like threw at the end. Like there was like, oh, he just has a horse with wings for some reason that don't know about until now. And again, the CGI, just, oh my god, stunning, perfect. That scene of him with the wings and the horse.
Yeah, mostly.
Oh my god,
mostly blue screen. That was really bad. But and Calvin's like flying away on the magic carpet. Eventually, he wins. Calvin wins. Gets the lamp back from Luxor. And then Luxor like falls into the ocean or something.
No, Luxor falls into manure. They did the Back to the Future. They did the Biff.
The Back to the Future thing.
Yeah,
not about that. I thought he fell into he fell in. I thought he was going to fall into the ocean, but then he fell into the manure. Yeah, and then
so it's a total Back to the Future reference because time travel is involved. Like it's not even close. Like
and the camel farts on him too right afterwards. Yeah.
Of course. You gotta have that. Like, why not?
So that's where that lands, and then they go and they wake up Aladdin, and Calvin decides he's got to go back. So he gives gifts to everybody. He gives the key to the Cave of Wonders to Alibaba, and then he gives his brothers all little tokens like a baseball cap, and what else did he give them? It was like the
toothbrush, the electric toothbrush because they have bad teeth. I guess, and then.
Yeah, can't even remember what the third one was.
It was just like, I don't remember. It wasn't like anything.
Yeah.
What was it, a laptop? No, it wasn't a laptop. It was, I don't know, it was something. And
that was the way they snuck into the palace was through they traded the laptop for like this oil traders stuff, so they could sneak in the oil barrels, but somehow they didn't have any oil on them when they got out of them. So I don't understand that. But
well, again, can I just mention about the Biff Back to the Future scene really quick though? Yeah. All right, so I know it's a kids movie. Mm-hmm. I know it's supposed to be funny. I understand that. We're supposed to suspend reality a bit. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But you're a person who's literally covered head to toe in shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's in your mouth. It's in your eyes. It's in your nostrils. It's in your ears. You have a 100% chance of getting extremely sick from that, possibly dying from the infection you're about to get from that.
Especially in the time period of this movie.
Exactly, where medicine is not as good as it is now. Like, that would have been like the great, like, that director's cut is just Luxor's deathbed, just writhing in pain from the infection he got from falling into the manure.
You're at least getting like pink eye from that, if nothing else. But
if nothing else, I would say much more because it was in his mouth. Oh God, his eyes. I mean, Derek. I mean, that's you're gone. You're a goner at that. It's in your eyes.
Yeah.
Like you're getting something really bad.
So we've got after Aladdin wakes up and everything, Calvin ends up going back home, says goodbye to everybody, and Sherry's gonna miss him and blah blah blah. He comes back to modern day, and I think it's earlier than when he left. So
I think so.
because the girl from the beginning of the movie is still in the restaurant, and he comes back, and somehow he comes back in the bathroom, and he basically knocks out Elliot and takes his keys to his car, and then goes up to the girl, and he feels like, oh, I got to be honest with her that this isn't my car. So she's like, well, then I don't want to go out with you, blah blah blah, because I'm a bitch. And,
fuck piece of shit.
I'm a material girl living in a material world.
It's a good song though.
Yeah. And then he goes outside. Well, he throws the keys to so this is what was kind of creepy to me. The guy that he works with, who's got to be like an adult, he throws the keys to that guy. And I don't know if they were implying that eventually that guy's going to go out with that Valerie chick, but she's like in high school.
I don't know if I think it was, he just threw it. I think I just threw it to him, like basically saying
because I was really worried about like the next shot was going to be him and Valerie walking out together or something. And I was like, don't. I mean, like with this movie, who knows? Because there's not a line they're not willing to cross when it comes to that issue. But but I don't think that's what it was. I think he was just throwing him the keys, like, hey, I'm not going to do this or whatever. So then he goes outside and Sherry's there. She walks up and then they she's like, oh, I don't know, like, I made a wish and this is one of my wishes and blah blah blah, and they go off onto their carpet that somehow has a license plate now that says Wish 3.
Is that what it said? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Really? So now you can register your magic carpet in this universe. So we have time travel, obviously, being a sequel.
And you can go to your own vehicle and register your I don't know, with that, because that's not really a motor vehicle. So would you go to the BMV or would you go
No. But it does have interesting connotations because in this universe, I guess you could call it the KCU, the Kids Cinematic Universe or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that magic carpets are apparently just something that exists, like, and it's known. Like, it's not a thing that like would raise eyebrows because you can get it registered.
Are you meaning to tell me they don't really exist?
I don't think so. I mean, I'd wish that half the things these fairy tales say existed. I have magic carpet.
I have a whole savings account that I've just been saving up for a magic carpet for the last 30 years or something. But you
guys spend the money on something else or keep saving or invest it in Bitcoin or some shit. No, I'm kidding. Don't invest in crypto, guys. It's
I was
the
going to
worst
invest in Trump coins or something.
Well, that's the thing. So you can invest knowing that it's stupid to like try to make some money, like if you know what you're doing.
Mhm.
But like, don't believe in the concept of cryptocurrency. Like, don't be a believer in it. Like, because like if you know what you're doing, if you know it's stupid, but like for example, like we know like the Trump people are idiots, right? So they're gonna like anything he sells, it's going to get pumped up at first. So it is kind of smart to buy in early because you know it's going to inflate real high and then sell real quick. You know that. So like that would be a quote smart business decision, if a little bit unethical.
I know what I can do. I'm going to create my own coins, and they're going to be called magic carpet coins. And
there you go.
Yeah, that'll work.
Just call it the magic carpet. Well, you never know. That might work because like some of these people, this one guy, he made what they call a shit coin, which is basically is meant to just be completely worthless, right?
Yeah.
He literally called it scam coin as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And then people just started buying it because they thought they make money. He literally called it scam coin. Like, so it's like, if you know what you're doing, go ahead. But even then, be careful because I know it's like, since we are in advice, this is the advice portion of our channel. All right, so here we go. So that's my advice is, so if you know what you're doing, if you know you can actually make money in cryptocurrency, if you know for a fact, or at least you some sense of confidence that you can make money from this, even if what you're doing is stupid, go ahead and do it. But there's a caution. There's actually a concept in business or anything else. It's called the greater fool theory or fallacy. And what the idea is you put your money or you put something into something that you know yourself is a scam, but you're banking on the idea that some idiot behind you isn't as smart as you, that you're basically going to fuck them over to make money. But the problem with that is every single person thinks that the other person is the greater fool.
Yeah.
And so the only person who's making money out of this is the person who's doing the scam for the most. So that's why they call it the greater fool theory or scam, is because you're like, well, I know this thing's bullshit, but
it's basically a Ponzi or pyramid scheme. So it's like, it's just basically what you got going on. So, but
anyway, that was my advice because we're required to do advice now.
Just so you know, folks, the advice given on the show is not necessarily to be taken as real. If you have any issues in your life that are caused by any of the advice given by All Too Real 2, we are not responsible. Thank you. Okay.
No, we're not.
So, I just had to say that to people. So anyways, they go flying off and it says the end up in the moon and shit. And then I finally, was done watching this piece of shit.
I liked it, to be honest. I changed my mind. So I liked it for the first 30 minutes, and then I didn't like it as we were talking about it. Now that we're done talking about it, now I re-liked the whole movie.
Okay. And that's your prerogative. You can do that if you want. I
might even watch it again tonight. No, I'm not really. But
if you do, I'm worried. So there's that. Anything else to say about this movie?
No.
All right, folks. I don't have anything else to say either. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Go to all2real2.com. You can check out all of our links there to our TeePublic, our Patreon. Good way to, help support the show. Go to all of our social media. There's links on the website as well to that. Email me at mike@cullenpark.com if you have any questions or concerns or advice for us or questions that you want us answering, giving you advice or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just lonely and I want to talk to people. So please message me. No, I'm joking. Anyways, I'm joking. I don't necessarily know if I will respond to you either. So remember that, you got to be good to each other. There's no genie that can get you out of any kind of problems in your life. So be good.
Be good.
Yes, be good.
Do it.
Free Palestine.
Yep.
Trans lives are human lives. No human is illegal.
Right.
Free Ukraine.
Bunch of other shit.
Yeah. Free Britney. Oh wait, no, that's already happened. Like I said, be good to each other. We are all colors of the same rainbow, people. We're not rainbow people. We're just colors of the same rainbow, people.
No. I understood. Yeah.
And be different. Be yourself. Remember that I love you. It's oily but good.
Sesame loves you.
Sesame loves you. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.